thought for today. The origin of caste system in India. India is a land of unity in diversity because of the varied religions that coexist in India. In the same way, there are contradictory ideas about the division of the people. You will wonder when you come to know that there are nearly 4,000 castes and subcastes in India. Nearly 4,000, just imagine. The Western historians said this caste system originated according to the trades the people practiced in olden times. And there is a belief that God Himself came and created 4 castes. The Brahmins, those who are learned men who do pujas at temples. Then the Kshatriyas, who belong to the soldier community. Then the business community was called Vaishya. It is also called Vaishya now. They are businessmen. They know how to pocket money by making use of sweet words and smiles. Then there is the Shudra caste. They do all the dirty things for the other people. Dirty means, that means the washing, sweeping, all those things for the higher caste. Anyway, this belief is not parallel to reason. So we have to develop one reasoning mind so that we shall be able to get answers to the questions. What caste system is. Then only we shall be able to call ourselves. We shall be able to call ourselves a developed human being. For that we need reasoning power. You know, when man loses reason, he descends to the level of lower organisms. It is like that. Now also we find the caste clashes, the religious clashes, in which numerous people were killed and are killed. They may not be killed in future. For that we have to develop reasoning power. The people who stick to the caste system believe that they are superior to some other people. For example, the Brahmins who think that they are superior to the other 3 castes, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas and the Shudras. So do the people belonging to Kshatriyas. They believe that the other 2 castes are inferior to them. So do the people belonging to Vaishyas. They believe that they are superior to Shudras. So it goes on like that. It is for satisfying one's own ego. If we are going to get rid of this ego, then we shall come to know that there is only one caste in this world, that is human caste. Then there will be no clashes, there will be no battles, there will be no wars. Of course, if you are too nationalistic, if you believe that your nation is the best nation in the world, that also will cause wars, as Hitler practiced in Germany and Mussolini in Italy. Now also there are many people who believe that their nationality is the best in the world. That is because of the ego. So first of all, we have to get rid of our ego. Then we shall become decent human beings. And there will be peace. There will be love. Love and peace will flourish. Don't we want that? Why should we fill our minds with hatred? There is no reason for that. A sensible human being would never hate others. There may be faults in the practice of others, but the thing is that such things are forgivable. Now let us come to the origin of caste system. For that we have to go back in time. For about 15,000 years back we have to travel. Then we shall come to know in India. At that time, I don't know what it was called, a vast land of a vast number of human beings who lived in hovels if they did have, otherwise in the open, protecting themselves with some sort of clothes if they did have at that time. But anyway, they had to find their livelihood. All people used to work in those days, and there were no schools. So even the toddlers would help the members of their family. It was such a time. It was such a situation. At that time, everybody had to do work for a living. Some of them might have started farming. Small patches of land was brought under cultivation, maybe. At that time, there were no kings, no rulers. Then, some people here also do not like to work. They are lazy. Not only lazy, they want to live at the expense of others' work. The fruit of others' labor is to be enjoyed by them, sitting and wandering. So the person who wandered like that must be a strong man. And this strong man would have had some cronies, some people who would assist him. So they would thrash people and command them to give them food every day. If anybody refused to give, or if anybody refused to oblige to them, that person would be beaten before all people. Even that person might be killed. So all people are afraid of that gunda. We can call him a gunda. So for protection, people would have started living together nearby in their hovels. So this gunda would ask them to give food to him as well as to his people. So it became a practice. Early in the morning and in the evening, they would be given food. Then this Gunda might have grown bigger. At that time, he would have thought of having a bigger hovel or a bigger shed. For that, he wanted workers, laborers. He wanted some sort of carpenters, rudimentary carpenters. And he got a bigger shed built and he started living there. Then this Gunda wanted weapons like knives, daggers, swords, etc. So he wanted the help of those who made such things. And we call them blacksmiths. He wanted in the same way masons and carpenters. As the Gunda grew into power, he would have brought the nearby villages also under his sway. He would engage more and more assistant Gundas to expand his domain. Thus, he became a sort of chieftain of the villages. And he got a big house built. For building, all these people are needed. So, he would have asked his cronies or his assistant Gundas to live in a particular area. Maybe something like a street of ancient times. So, he would be able to get them at his beck and call. So in the same way, he would have asked the masons to live in a particular street. So it became the Mason Street, then the Carpenter Street, then the Potter Street. As the Gunda grew into power, he wanted beautiful ladies to serve him, beautiful ladies to be his wives, and he wanted them wear ornaments. So he would have asked people to make ornaments, and they became goldsmiths. So blacksmith, goldsmith, and those who made pots with copper became coppersmiths, like that. So there would be these working people only at particular areas. So whenever he wanted more weapons in a few days, he would send the message to the chief of the street to collect 100 blacksmiths, and would ask them or would order them to make as many weapons as he wanted. In the same way, he would send a message to the masons to be at his place early in the morning. So the message would be passed, and as many masons he wanted would be there at his place. So in course of time, these people or the people of each street would know the trade what they were practicing. For example, members of the blacksmith family know only about making the iron implements and iron tools and iron weapons. And that would be handled roughly. Even the toddlers would help their parents. So did the masons. The people who were engaged in masonry would know only about how to build walls. So did the carpenters. They knew only how to make furniture, doors and windows. And the potters also. And they were very careful because the pots would be broken. Only earthen pots at that time would be broken easily. So they started marrying from their own caste. That was only possible. Otherwise, suppose a girl from a blacksmith family was married to a person who belongs to a potter's family. What would be the situation? What would be the situation? Just imagine. The girl of the blacksmith family would handle the iron implements in a rough way. If she did so with the earthen pots, what would happen? They would be broken and there would be quarrel. So it was not possible to give in marriage their daughters to other families which had a different trade. This continued, and in course of time they had their own gods. God, they were afraid of nature. The elements of nature frightened them. Lightning, thunder, floods, earthquake, all these things frightened them. In the same way, if they lived near the sea, a sudden wave would take away people. So they were afraid of the sea. So they started worshipping the sea, they started worshipping the sun, they started worshipping lightning and thunder, they started worshipping floods or the rain god. So in course of time, what would have happened? They would have got rooted in their belief. They had their own gods. They wouldn't share their god with the god of the people of other trades. And the marriages would be strictly between the members of the same trade. Actually, the ruler also wanted like that only, because they wanted to keep the people divided. He knew if they united, it would be difficult for him to continue to be the chieftain. So such things continued for millennia, for thousands of years. And the caste system got rooted. Now see, in different parts of India, we hear the hatred between the different communities, different castes. And they would kill their own daughter if she got married with a member of other family which practice another trade. Still it goes on. Why? People are not properly educated. They have not developed their reasoning power. So friends, the first and foremost thing we have to do is to develop our reasoning power. So that will make ourselves decent human beings. Then peace will prevail and it will be followed by prosperity. So let us have a bright future. For that, let us know the myth that castes are created by God. God is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. such a thing cannot differentiate the creations. I mean, all the things in this world, if were created, then he wouldn't show any differentiation. That's the truth. If we believe in that truth, we shall become decent human beings. Okay, I'll see you later sometime. Bye.